Aye.
Monday, April 6th. At this time, I would like everyone to rise as they are able and join me in a moment of silent reflection. Now, if you could join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Secretary, would you like to roll call?
Sure. Counselor Andy Richter is asked to retire notice, and everyone else is here.
Thank you. All right, sorry, I have we have, next on the agenda is the consent agenda, and I'd like a motion for someone on council to approve the consent agenda. The minutes from March 2nd, 2026, March 2026 session, and the approval of bills for March and recurring bills for April 2026.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the March 2nd, 2026 regular council meeting minutes, March 16th, 2026 work session, and the approval of the bills for the month of March 2026, and approval to pay the recurring bills for April 2026.
Second. Okay, so I get a motion from Councilor Littlefield and second from Councilor Costa. Is there any discussion? Changing? None heard? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, none opposed, so the motion for the consent agenda for the minutes, March 2nd, 2026, March 16th, 2026, and the approval of the bills for the month of March and approval to pay the recurring bills for April is passed. So next up, we have presentations. It's you, Jeff. Jessica Simony from Souderton Connect.
Good evening, all. That's the last month.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot here, but I'll go quickly through it. Next week, I just want to let everyone know, remind everybody, is our first restaurant week in Souderton. We have 13 establishments participating in this first one, which I think is great. We will be highlighting all of their specials, their menus, anything like that this week on social media. So stay tuned to that. And, throughout the week, next week, we'll be reminding people of certain things. We had our very first business bites of this year. It was our exclusive bid networking event. We were at Brass Collar on March 19th. It was the largest, largest attended event that we've had for business bites. So that means those business owners and property owners were coming out, and they had a great time. I think all had a great time. And this is the kind of event they like. So we're going to try and shoot to do this once a quarter to bring everybody together, and then pick a different location around town. Obviously, host that. The Souderton Telford Historical Society, if you've all noticed, they put their plaques up officially last week, and Souderton Connects collaborated with them on these plaques. So we are now on the stage of working to identify a place in town, first that we think would be a well-trafficked location, and then a sign that would keep the main QR code. So people kind of know, I mean, unless you're walking by the building itself, you might not know about these plaques. So if we pick a central location and then also have it be a protected waterproof type of billboard and put Souderton Connects and Souderton kind of notices in. I'll obviously be working with Sarah once we come up with some ideas for locations and then property owners. But we think the Historical Society, we think that that would be nice so people can see that at other events. Our first community cleanup day is happening this month, April 25th at 10 a.m. We have our beautification meeting tomorrow night, so the exact location will be chosen then. And then I will again reach out to Jason and Sarah to make sure that they're okay with us cleaning up that area. Real busy this month. Ribbon cutting for the Goddard School is going to be held Friday, April 17th at noon. You all should have received an invitation today for that. Please just come out, support, Kristen and her staff on opening this daycare center in our town. I know she's also hosting an open house the next day too, but there'll be information out on that Friday. We're about a month away from Third Fridays. They're starting up again. We have all new bands this year that we've booked. We have obviously great food truck lineup. Vendors are signing up, and we are going to be doing that mentorship program again this year with the high school students. There will be 4 to 5 new students this year working with us on that, and that was great last year. We are also with the high school running a contest with the artists over there, the art classes, to do a mural in the alley between Montgomery Theater and Sowerson Family Restaurant. I've been working with Carol for many months now, and she loved this idea of the students coming up with an idea. So once we have a few finalists, she's going to look it over and we'll shoot, and then we'll get that kind of going. We're thinking fall or even next year, but see who wins. If they're a senior, they're gonna have to obviously do it soon.
Right.
Let's see, we're at assessment time of year. I'm working with Laura to gather all that information. So thank you, Laura. And once we have everything together, Chase will be sending out the assessments. So we're gonna start that. But I'm confident this year, just like we had a great, everyone that paid it last year really came through because of that new system we put through, and setting on the collection of data. So I'm sure it's going to be like that again this year. So I'm happy about that. And then finally, I just want to announce we'll have a lot more to discuss over the summer about this. But on August 9th, that's a Sunday from 10 to 2, we're going to actually do a wellness event in Sowerton. We have St. Luke's already on board. They will have some complimentary blood pressure testing. Their DNA Answers program will be there at no cost to people. And what we decided is we thought to bring awareness to a lot of the businesses, doctor's office, dentist spas, for a wellness local restaurants that serve healthy fare, all of that to come to the park. So that's where we have that, and that will be that day. So again, I'll give you more information as that comes together. We're really working on that. Sarah and I have some ideas for some other things in the town. Anyway, any questions for me?
Sound very busy.
We're busy. I like it. Yes, we're really busy. So we're getting a lot of businesses really working. I think that fire and frost that we had was really positive for the businesses up on Broad and Front Street. A lot of people were happy to have that up there. So we got a good group.
Got a lot of positive feedback on.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I missed it, but I heard it was fun.
Yeah, we're already working on it.
All right.
Get sure to look.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, so our next presentation, Penny Price from Indian Valley Public.
Hello. Yes, and I'm your representative to the Indian Valley Public Library. I'll keep going on the student art team, and today's the final day of the art in the library. The district student art is on display. The reception this year had 250 people at the library for that event. It's slightly lower than past years because the high school didn't display this year. It was elementary and new at the library, we have a new printer, fax, and scanner station. So that's been upgraded technology-wise, and it does allow patrons to print, scan, or fax their own material. In the past, they had to work with the librarian to facilitate the process, but now people can do it themselves. And so that's a nice upgrade. Just some stats. We went over recently. We now have 27,085 service area card holders. So those are people who live in municipalities served directly by the library. Plus, we have 9,115 card holders from other areas. So a lot of people that are close, Hatfield, over the retirement community, right over the way, they will get a library as well, library card as well. So that's a total of over 36,000 active card holders, and we do cull them and keep them up. So if you don't use your library card for a couple of years, it gets disabled. If you come back in, you can get it turned back on. So the 36,000 are active card holders. And that number has risen every month for the last 12 months. So hard facts on how popular the library is. And then the last thing I want to talk about is hot off the press today. got news that we were awarded one of 4 in Montgomery County Keystone grants to the library. And I especially want to thank Satterton. Satterton was the sponsoring municipality. We need to have a sponsor municipality with these. So Satterton, and we worked with the library to get that done. And so we did get awarded the funding, and it will be used for a new HVAC system. Very much needed.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for me?
No, but now it's gonna remind me I should be using my library card, because it probably won't work with my.
Maybe you can instantly.
Thank you, Patty. Yep. Okay, we are going to move to administrative reports and first up is the minutes.
Thank you. We had a couple Keystone grant successes, so good job, Sarah, or whoever wrote it, Sarah, I think.
Help them put it in.
You wanna say while we're talking about it, your success with BMSC?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a representative that did a good bit of the work for that one and got that submitted, so they have the Healthy Heart Initiative, where they're upgrading the cardiac monitors, on their units, and they were awarded a grant with us for our area, and then I think it was Upper Glenwood as well, partnered with them, and they were awarded that one as well, so they should have a considerable amount of money to keep up their cardiac.
For like 100 grand.
Ours was 100, and I think the Upper Glenwood was around 100 as well.
The library, so that's awesome. Thank you. It's so exciting how, when you said we have 13 restaurants participating in Restaurant Week, like 10 years ago, there weren't 13 restaurants, ours.
Okay.
So to have 13 participating is, I think we take it for granted a little bit now because it's in our daily life, but we've come a really long way. So good job, everybody here. And then I have 2 things to talk about for the month, which is both on the same day, April 18th, first in the morning is the I'll call it annual Earth Day cleanup, very informal. And this year, I think we're going to do it in Holly Hill Park, and prep that for some trees that the Rotary Club has a grant to plant, to replace some trees that are dying there. So Sarah, I'll connect with you on it a little bit, but April 18th, I think it's probably from 8 to noon. So very informal, like every year. If you've been there, bring your own rakes and gloves, and we'll just clean stuff up for Earth Day and make the town look a little nicer. And then that afternoon is cash bingo at the firehouse at 5 p.m. But it's exciting because it's the first bingo with their new bingo machine. So if you played bingo at the firehouse anytime in the last 20 years, you played on the 1966 bingo machine. And so the fire company and the auxiliary Mary's here representing invested to upgrade that, and it should be pretty cool. So this is the inaugural bingo on April 18th at 5 p.m. at the fire. And then all those and that's, do you need tickets for that?
At the door.
At the door. Well, I can tell you, door sales only, $30 for 15 regular games. A bargain at any rate.
That is.
Also some other stuff. Here. Yeah.
Okay, any questions from there? No, okay. So next up is Chief O'Brien.
Thank you, Matt. I'm going to keep the theme of the grants moving forward here. The borough manager and I went to the state rep's office to have attended a seminar on grant funding moving forward. And I also sent the administrative assistant to a 2-day grant school since the last council meeting. So it's something we talked about since I've been here and during my hiring process, and it's time for us to start locking in on that. I've said before, because of a lot of good reasons, we're not always a great candidate for grants, but we're going to start shooting our shot here and see if we can bring some money in on the same kind of grant concepts that are being talked about out here. Of course, the The monthly report was submitted to council, gets submitted to the public tomorrow, and I'll always want to answer everybody's questions they have about it. Please support.
Anyone have any questions for Chief? All good. That was quick. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
All right, next up in our public works director, James.
Public Works report for March of 2026, labor distribution. Municipal buildings and equipment maintenance, we had 110 hours. General highway work was 387 hours. Snow and ice, we had 28 hours. Sanitary sewer work, we had 97 hours. Storm sewer work, we had 83 hours. Parks and recreation, we had 98 hours. Swimming pool, we had 47 hours. Vacation, 60, sick and 50 for sick, and we had 6.75 hours in overtime, for a grand total of 966 hours and 70.75 hours. A couple of the major projects we had done for the last month. We had opening up the both bath houses at the pool, both sides, men's and women's. We assisted the wastewater treatment plant employees at their plant, and we also assisted the office with a blood drive event. General highway work, damaged street signs have been repaired. We did our 4th round of road pothole patching. Some plow repairs. Bollard has been installed back in place in Washington Avenue that got knocked over from an accident. New street light has been installed on Main Street, and Bernie's was out to install the new light head. Street sweeping of the main roads was completed, and also some vehicle maintenance. Snow and ice, we finally received both of my last 2 orders of salt, so I am good to stock back up. And we also did, in the early part of March, we finished up the last of the snow cleanup around town. Storm sewer work, various inlet box cleaning and repair. The culvert joint repair on Chestnut Street has been completed. So the concrete pipe joints have been repaired, and then they also applied a chimney seal on the inside to stop the water from getting out of the pipe. Storm hood has been replaced at 130 Weil Avenue, and also a failing storm inlet box has been replaced at 21 South Front Street. Sanitary sewer work, we cleared a blockage on a sewer lateral at 137 Washington Avenue, and we also found out that there was a belly in it. So we went back and we replaced that whole sewer lateral on Washington. So now that issue is gone. Parks and Rec, we have routine bathroom checks. New sculpture for the Rotary Park is finished, and we're going to add lights later in the year. Lights to it, up lights. Park cleanup has started, and mowing will start this week as well. Swimming pool, we uncovered the competition pool today, and we will begin getting it ready for the season. The activity pool repairs have started. Plastering is scheduled for next week sometime. So they came in and they started with the general repairs first, the deep holes in the concrete, some of the tile work that was come off from when they did the water blasting. And then the next step is they're going to go around, fix all the anchors and stuff like that. And then they're going to they'll bond coat, plaster everything, get that ready. And our overtime was cleanup from the fire and frost event, and also we had a couple hours at the wastewater treatment plant. That is my.
Just a quick question on the pool. For the plastering, how long of a process
The actual plastering
to
itself,
do the whole?
probably 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
It'll take a day for the bond coat, and then they'll give it a day or 2 to set, and then they'll plaster it. They'll probably get the plaster done in a day. It's pretty quick when they start.
It's hard to believe next month the pool will be open. Not feeling it outside, but
It's warm up.
yeah, thanks for all you do, Jason. Good work.
Just a couple quick notes that I had stored this year. We had a total of 46 inches of snow for the 25-26 season. Altogether started, December till the last one we had in March, or at the end of February. And we used approximately 500 tons of salt over the whole season. And I was up today in Allentown, and I was inspecting our dump truck. It is being built as we speak, and we should receive it in about a month. So right now the chassis is coming along. They're putting all the lights and the switches in it, and the dump body is over here, and they're just got them married together, and then we'll have it in about a month, so.
Pretty simple. Any questions for now? Okay. I will move to the, for John,
Yes, thank you. I have submitted my report. Two items. Number one, still the portion of Cherry Lane. I'd like to defer my comments to, that's a business item on 7A tonight. And then number 5, which is Towngate Commons Taco Bell. The planning commission did review the amended land development plan for that project. It was submitted, I think, between your last meeting and April 1st. The applicant needs to make some revisions with respect to some of the waivers they're requesting and revisions to the plan as well. So that's going to go back to the planning commission before it comes to council. That's all I have with my report. Are there any questions?
all right, having no questions, I'll move on to Borough Manager.
First, before I forget, Christine has coordinated a zebra cycle event that will be happening on April the 25th. Some of the items are free and there is a cost for some disposal. There are flyers out in the lobby and there's information on our website about that. And at the same time, we'll have Drug Take Back Day with the police department set up. That's a countywide event, countywide event. And so that the e-waste will loop through the parking lot in the back here, and then you'll have an opportunity for the drug take back as well. A lot of the office items right now are recreation based, so we just finished the discount period for season passes, and we did around 130,000 in sales in that first month, which is really great, and it's up about 30,000 from last year. As we get closer, obviously things will pick up a little bit with pass sales, but the discount has proven to be successful again. So that went really well. The ladies in the office worked really hard, especially the last couple of days, people wait, and they all came in at once to buy their passes. Christine's worked on getting some new programming up and running, so we're offering Zumba in the summer at the pool, so off with Zumba. That will be a new program, and then we've been offering a pound class and yoga at the activity room at the pool. We're taking the summer off from the boot camp program, and then Medicare seminar in May. And then also a blood drive. We're going to do a second blood drive in July. And that'll be about the badges for Christine and Amanda, the police department, are working on coordinating that. And preliminarily have an open house scheduled for the police department as well in August. So lots of recreation stuff is in the works. Outreach. I think that's it.
Any questions?
Do we still have the drug take back container 24 hours?
It will be in the vestibule, and that is accessible 24 hours. Yep.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we'll move into our committee. I'm just gonna ask, let's go down the line. If you haven't had a committee, fine. If you have any updates, it's great to hear. I don't know what,
I can start.
Darryl, please.
Okay. So the trash committee, we had our trash town hall on March 23rd. Well attended by the residents of Satterton and Borough Council. Sarah did a great job on the PowerPoint and the presentation. I want to thank Matt and Stephanie Brooks for the partnership on our committee with getting information together in preparation for the town hall. But the main theme from residents was making sure that we are considering costs coming up for the new contract and the quality of the service. So those are the main themes discussed in the town hall. We'll be working on the request for the bids soon. That should go out sometime in May, right, Sarah?
Mayor.
Okay. And then, we'll get those bids back, and we'll go, the committee will review the bids along with Sarah.
That's good stuff. Thank you, Devin. I know finance is not meeting this month, so that's report, and there's no new report, but other than the last one, okay.
I do have one for outreach. So on Saturday, the 28th of March, we had our initial conversation with a counselor at Starbucks. Very well received. I heard from several people independently around town that actually saw the ad. So thank you to Sarah and Christine and other folks in the office for getting that well advertised. That's going to be a quarterly event going forward. So our next one will be, and we're going to alternate between Saturdays and evenings to accommodate people's schedules. Very welcome to all counselors to show up, thanks to the counselors that were not on the committee that were able to join us this past time. The next one is Thursday, the 30th of July at 6 p.m. at Branch Creek Tap Room, if you'd like to join us. And then to switch gears a little bit, and I think I did say that's a quarterly event going forward, right? The next completely different event on Monday, 11 May at 7 p.m. We have a master watershed steward named Robert Case is going to be doing a presentation on stormwater basics for homeowners and residents. I had a really nice phone call with him. He is far overqualified, but very, very personable, retired from a long career in stormwater management and information for homeowners. There will be a bio on a flyer that will appear soon for people to see, and that'll be right here because he needs some of the technology that we have here. And I did get to see his presentation. It was customized. Last time he did it was in Willow Grove, and there's actually a swamp in Willow Grove, which I did not know until now. So he's going to take that out because we don't have a swamp, but it'll be very informative. And that's all I have. All right, our next meeting is Wednesday, and there will be things coming out after that, but I'm not going to speak to any of that until it's finalized.
Thank you. Okay. We've got all the committee report. Next up is public comments. So if you are a resident, a business owner, property owner, and you have a public comment, we'd love to hear from you. Step to the podium, state your name and address, and
Yes, my name is Jack Stephen. I live at 41 North 4th Street. That's just off Reliance Road, with Reliance. My problem is a water problem, and it doesn't affect just me. It also affects to the property that fronts on Reliance, but butts up to my backyard. I've been there 50 years now. I purchased that in 76. And at that time, there was no ditch, there was no erosion problems of any kind. Now, there is a 2-foot deep ditch created by all the water. I talked to this gentleman here, so he's a little bit familiar with where I'm at and what the problem is. There is a very large lot. It's about 4 acres in size, maybe a little bigger. In the center of that block, 4th Street on one side, School Lanes on the other, the Reliance and Summit. Now, I took a few pictures and I was going to show them to you on my phone, but they don't do justice to the scope of the problem. When we get heavy rains, if you would stand there at the back of my property and at the corner of this other property, you can see where the entire block, it's like a funnel, goes like this. And from Summit all the way down to Reliance, it's on a downhill grade. So all the rain, virtually all the rain that falls on that block runs right past my backyard. It's gotten so bad, I have a privacy fence across the back of my yard that I put in years ago. There was very little erosion there then, but now my privacy fence, instead of looking like this, looks like this, because it's washed away so much ground that the fence can't keep itself up. I just spent 3 days last week repairing or trying to repair half of it. I even had to go to the point where I couldn't dig down far enough to lower the post any further because I hit some really huge rocks. So one post, I actually had to run a steel cable back into my garden at the back of the property keep the post up straight. If I fell off, when I put the privacy fence back up, the post actually went like this again. The brand new post I just put in. So I talked to my neighbors the other day. Their last name is Ruth, I believe it is. Yes. They were gonna, I asked her if she could come here tonight, but she has grandchildren with a school thing that they had to attend to, so she couldn't make it. She would have loved to have been here. Now, I talked to this gentleman here, he said he's gonna stop by my house and take a look at it. But it's really bad. I mean, it's terrible, it's like a 2-foot ditch. You ever try to repair a fence standing in a 2-foot ditch? Not even, trust me, it is not. So, that's basically what my thing is. The last time I was here, I was getting a variance to build a garage off the back corner of my house. That was maybe 20 years ago. It's been a while since I've been here.
Thank you for stating that, and we will follow Jason, and I'll follow you to make sure that that's coordinated and see what we can do.
Gave him my phone number, my address and phone number, so he has it. He said he's gonna call me when he stops by.
And the borough manager will gauge between, so we can keep track of it, so.
I mean, I'm seeing it so bad there. I can look out my second floor bedroom window, and I've seen my neighbor's backyard look like swamp. I'm not kidding, standing water. That's how bad it gets.
Patterson.
The entire yard is standing water. And she tells me when that happens, her basement flood.
Okay. All right, well.
There's a culvert there, and I don't know. There's a culvert that comes up to the back of their driveway. I would say it's about 35 yards into their property. There's a drainage culvert there that connects out to the street, obviously, because it points in that direction. It's got to go there. There isn't anywhere else for it to go. Now, the problem is from there to the back corner of my property, where the ground is just gone.
Well, yeah, like I said, appreciate the comment. We'll keep in touch with Public Works, and then Sarah will keep me informed so that we can keep you informed.
And all the water creating the problem, virtually all the water creating the problem is coming from above our properties, and then it washes downhill to us.
Well, I do thank you for that.
So there's virtually nothing we can do to stop that water from ending up our problem.
We can talk with the Public Works Director, and we can move it further along once we find out and see the problem.
Okay. Once he sees it, he's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you.
More than it's every 20 years.
I'm sick.
No more than once every 20 years.
Okay, well,
Maybe 10.
I don't want to be a nudge, you know, I don't want to bother anybody.
We don't know. We don't know unless people come and talk to us.
Well,
So, fine.
the only reason I'm here is because I had to fix my fence.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was gonna fall over completely. And that would have been even more of a problem.
Well, I thank you for coming out. and-
Okay,
Yes.
Great, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Right there. It's like you.
I know the problem. Thank you. Is that it? Everybody good? Good. All right, no more comments, so we'll end that section of the meeting. So Jason, I'll follow up. Next up is the business of the evening. And John Trente wants to start off with.
Okay, so by way of background, this is, the proposal is to sell a portion of Cherry Lane property that the borough owns. It's about 3.82 acres, was recently subdivided back in 2024. I think it's about 12 acres. It's only a portion that's 0.82 acres. The remainder of the property that was subdivided will be retained by the borough. That property was Well, I'm sorry, that subdivision plan was recorded back in 2024 for the property located at Hatfield Pike and Sherman Lane. Tax map parcel 34-00-02611-00-1, and it'll be sold to Franconia Township. There is a appraisal that's been done. This proposed sale price would be $570,000, as is. That is the appraised value of the property. It would be something that could be done pretty quickly, my understanding, from Franconia Township. In anticipation of tonight's meeting, I did reach out to the solicitor. I had some feedback and some dialogue with him. I've seen a draft agreement of sale with respect to the parcel, for your information, and it's pretty straightforward sale process. So, anything else, Senator? Any questions from council?
Right.
There's a proposed motion that council is inclined to authorize that.
One or two things. So the property being sold to Franconia, and the intent is for it to be preserved as open space, and that will be in the agreement of sale. It's my understanding that they were purchasing it with open space money, and so it would have to remain open space. The other piece of that is that this property was purchased with sewer funds, and so these funds will be returned to the sewer account. It will be kept separate, and will have to go towards that. And then I've had just preliminary conversations with Franconia Township, and the idea would be potentially down the line, we could develop that as joint recreation space, or it could be used towards our MS4 requirements. That would be to be determined with them later on, but that's going over.
The mayor has a question. However, should I call for the motion first and then take questions? And she answered
my question.
Oh, okay. So that's done then. All right. So I would like a motion from someone on council to authorize and approve sale PMP 3400-02611-00-1 located at the intersection of Hatfield Pike and Cherry Lane to Franconia Township as is for the appraised sale price of $570,000, subject to an agreement of sale and a form acceptable to the borough manager and solicitor, and to the president and borough manager to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate sale of said real estate on behalf of Souderton Borough.
Madam President, I will make a motion. Go ahead. Yes, okay. I will make a motion to authorize and approve the sale of TMP 34-00-2611-00-1 located at the intersection of Hatfield Pike and Cherry Lane to Franconia Township as is for the appraised sale price of $570,000, subject to an agreement of sale in a form acceptable to the borough manager and solicitor, and the president and borough manager to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the sale of said real estate on behalf of Souderton Borough.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Councilor Off and second by Councilor Littlefield. Is there any discussion? Any questions?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Just real quick for clarification. This will be used for open space with open space funds, but we'll be able to use it for things like meeting our MS4 permit requirements with regards to stormwater runoff, right?
Permission, yeah, but that's the idea.
Okay.
Mayor?
I was just gonna give, since you're sitting here, you might wanna know, you came here, so you might wanna know a little background. We acquired this property in 2009, when the financial crisis, when Scholl Brothers went out of business, and so the borough sort of ended up with the property. And you never know if you can picture it, there's the grassy half, we're keeping the part that's where our public works. The grass half, we've never figured out what to do with. There were soccer fields in it at one time, and that didn't work. There's swales in it. it's just, we never found a good use of space for it, so we've been talking about this sale for 5 years.
Wow.
We talked about it, we talked about selling it to, and, you know, it could be anything, it could be an auto parts store or a gas station or whatever else it could turn into, so when Sarah kind of struck a deal with Franconia Township to make it open space, I think council was really excited about that. We get the appraised value of the property and it stays as open space for the community and doesn't become something undesirable. So I really think that this is a great, this is a triumph, what we're about to execute here.
Okay. So, there was a motion made by, Council Cross and seconded by Darrell Field. All those in favor for the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No opposition. So the motion passes, and I will read it. A motion to authorize and approve the sale of TNP 34-0002-611-00-1 located at the intersection of Hatfield Pike and Cherry Lane, Franconia Township, as is, for the appraised sale price of $570,000, subject to an agreement of sale and a form of acceptance of the borough manager and solicitor and the president and borough manager to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the sale of said real estate on behalf of Southern Borough. Okay, motion passed. Yeah. All right, so the next resolution we have to talk about there.
So this was sent over by Gilmore, the engineering firm. So they're working on a grant application for the tree bank restoration project that was proposed in the MS4 plan. The grant amount would be $300,000. And so this is what we typically have to pass when we apply for a grant to authorize the application and for the amount that for $300,000. And this is the PSA grant, the Commonwealth Financing Authority. And it's money specific to watershed restoration. For the street restoration project, and that, just for your memory, is the property that borders the wastewater treatment plant in Franconia Township. And there are neighboring properties that would have to buy in, not buy in. We would do the work, they just have to tell us that it's okay. And they did receive letters, and we started that process. And this is all being done by the engineering Gilmore and their representatives. So I don't have to prepare.
So thank you, and a motion from council to approve resolution 2026-10, authorizing the application for watershed restoration inspection program in the amount of $300,000 for stream bank restoration.
Madam President, I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2026-10, authorizing the application to watershed restoration and protection program in the amount of $300,000 for a stream bank restoration project.
I'll second. Motion by Councilor Benchick, seconded by Councilor Cross. Do you have any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. One opposed? Oh, one opposed. So that motion moves to approve resolution 2026-10, authorizing the application to watershed restoration and project protection program in the amount of $300,000 for stream bank restoration project. So that's the end of our business tonight. The council's going to convene to an executive session, so we won't come back into this room. So the public is ready to go. Can I get a motion to go to executive session?
To move us litigation.
Yeah, sorry, to discuss litigation and personnel. Thank you. Motion.
Motion to move to executive session.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
It's not.
Yes.
Yeah.